I need your help. Before we get into the video, please do me a favor and press the like button. Also, if this is your first time to my channel and this resonates with you, please hit the subscribe button as well. This afternoon, I was out driving. I went to a restaurant to pick up an order and it wasn't ready yet, so I took a seat on the bench. A few moments later, a girl walked in behind me and her order wasn't ready either. So she decided to sit down next to me and we started making small talk about our orders. After sitting there and chatting for a few minutes, I hear the sound go off for DoorDash, and I happen to quickly glance over at her phone to see her accept a $2 add-on. So I asked her, just out of curiosity, how much is the first order you're here for? Her response was $2.75. She was sitting there waiting to pick up 2 no-tip orders. Usually I don't interject myself into people's financial decisions when we're both waiting at restaurants. It's not my business, and if they want the information, they can come find me on YouTube. But something possessed me to say something about it today. A lot of this conversation will be paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what was said, but this is going to be the gist of it. I asked her why she takes no-tip orders. She said, I'm a college student, and this is the only job I can get that works with my schedule, and I can't afford to get fired. Now that caught me off guard. I did not expect to hear the word fired from a driver. I hear deactivated 10 times a day, but never fired. Hearing this made me both very upset and quite sad. It made me upset because DoorDash has no problem whatsoever taking advantage of drivers that don't independently seek outside information. It made me sad because she felt like she had to take out the trash. At the time of filming this video, gas is currently $4.50 approximately in my market. If you're constantly taking $2.75 offers or $2 offers, are you actually making any money, or at that point are you operating in the red and running a charity? My first year of doing gig work, I drove 25,000 miles. And admittedly, many of those miles were spent on bad orders because I didn't know any better at the time. It wasn't until somebody in my market took interest in me and asked me why the hell I'm doing what I'm doing that I took the time to learn. If I could rewind time and tell myself not to take most of those orders, I probably would. Something that so many new drivers fail to realize is doing this kind of work has real consequences. We cover our own gas, we cover our own maintenance, we cover our own insurance, we buy our own vehicles, we pay for everything. Those of you who are subscribed to my channel know about an ordeal I just went through. I was out doing deliveries and I spun a bearing. I started hearing a really nasty sound, and fortunately I was able to get off the freeway and park my car somewhere safe. Fast forward 2 months of trying to get quotes from shops, I finally decided it wasn't worth it to try to put a new engine in my car, and I bought a new vehicle. This cost me thousands of dollars, not to mention all of the wages that I was out for not driving for 2 months. Our vehicles do not care if we're getting paid $2.75 or if we're getting paid $15. It doesn't matter to our cars. They are going to break down eventually, regardless of how much we make per order. Now, I want to go back to the girl I met in the restaurant today. And actually, this is the first time that I've plugged my YouTube channel to a driver in my market. So if you end up watching this, it was a pleasure to meet you. And I hope you don't take this personally. Most drivers, when they first start driving, don't know most of what I'm saying in this video. She did not know that we're not employees. And she did not know that you could unassign orders. She also didn't know that you don't have to take everything. Before I left, I pulled up DoorDash's policy on their website and showed her, in their own words, what can and can't get you deactivated. I explained to her that you can have a 0% acceptance rate and they cannot deactivate you for it. I also explained the difference between an independent contractor and an employee and told her that she should probably start preparing to pay taxes as well. This whole thing got me thinking about new drivers and the lack of information that they're provided by the various delivery services. So here is a short list of things that DoorDash will never tell its drivers. You can and probably should decline more offers than you accept. DoorDash tries to use scare tactics to persuade drivers to accept bad orders. They're constantly pushing Top Dasher. Actually, matter of fact, this is my acceptance rate at the time of filming this video. Notice that big red text that says very low? Imagine being a new driver and seeing that. They're thinking they're about to get called into HR and fired. Now, this is probably going to ruffle some feathers. If your market is so small that you have to be Top Dasher in order to get any hours, you should probably sign up for other platforms or consider just getting a W-2 job, because accepting those $2 and $3 orders is not worth your time. You will get paid more almost anywhere else if you have to be a Top Dasher to drive in your market. You can unassign orders. You can also unassign one order if you get a double. I find it curious that the question mark icon is the smallest one in the application. Do you know what you find in the question mark section? Unassigning orders. And what happens when you go to unassign an order? You're greeted with another big scary screen saying your acceptance rate is going to drop. You should make at least $1 per mile, and that is bare minimum. With gas this high, go for $2 or $3 or even $4 a mile. But my goodness, do not take orders that are 25 or 50 cents a mile. You're going to drive your car into the ground quickly doing that and have nothing to show for it. You should protect yourself from scams and customer fraud. DoorDash will never call you to get your password. I've had several people in my comment sections who have fallen victim to this one. Also, sometimes customers are going to lie and try to take a shot at you, claiming that they didn't get the order. Always take pictures of the address so you can prove you were where you were supposed to be. And finally, you are not an employee. You are an independent contractor, and you don't owe DoorDash a damn thing. You are not required to take a single order. So please do not take low or no tip orders, ever. I want to wrap this up by asking you 2 questions. If you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice as a new driver, what advice would you give? Also, what is your best piece of advice for new drivers? If it's different, please put both in the comment section below. Since DoorDash is never going to be transparent with new drivers, I believe the responsibility falls on us to educate them. Now, before you say it's not our responsibility, hear me out. Ask yourself what it would look like if not a single driver ever took a no-tip order. What if customers knew that they weren't going to get their order if they only tipped $2 for an order going 7 miles? My point is, uninformed drivers enable bad customers, and that makes it difficult for informed drivers to succeed. All right, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you haven't done so yet, please do hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, this is the perfect time for you to go ahead and do that. If you are kind enough to subscribe, let me know in the comment section below. Tell me your name and the market you drive in, and I'll be sure to thank you at the end of my next ride-along video. My name is Zach. I'll catch you soon.